Let's pay homage to the Buddha, fully enlightened one. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Today we will try to finish our talk. What are humans doing? With the question asked by the Deva to the Buddha. Buddha, how did you cross the flood? At that time the Buddha answered, by not stopping, by not struggling, I crossed the flood difficult to cross. We see the words stopping and struggling in the Buddha's answer to the Deva. Yesterday, we all know what the floods are. Now today, we will continue what is the meaning of stopping and struggling. So as you all told me maybe 2 days ago, I think, in my interview or in the Dharma talk, we humans, since morning till night, we perform especially and wholesome actions. So the meaning of stopping is performing and wholesome actions, which can lead to the full woeful state. We humans, intelligent beings, perform not only and wholesome, but also wholesome actions. However, if we compare these two actions, much more unwholesome actions that we accumulated in our daily life. So, stopping means performing and wholesome actions, and struggling means performing wholesome actions. Unwholesome actions lead to the full range. Wholesome actions lead back to human, devil, and Brahma range. So now we all humans are doing only two things: stopping and struggling. Whether you are a doctor, whether you are engineer, whether you are operator, whether you are computer expert, you are just doing only stopping and struggling. Even the way we make living are different, but the way we accumulate these are the same, wholesome and unwholesome. To help make it clear, let's look at the way most human beings live. What are they doing? To make it clear, let's look at the way most humans live. And also here, let me ask you one question. Do people really know the difference between wholesome and unwholesome actions? Many people may say, yes, they know the difference between wholesome and unwholesome. Sometimes people may say even the ordinary people know the difference between wholesome and unwholesome. So here, let me quote some words of the Buddha. At one time the Buddha was asked why, when everybody wished to be happy, most people were unhappy. The Buddha answered that it was due to jealousy and stinginess. Going to these defilements, many people seek happiness for themselves, but ignoring the welfare of others. Seeking happiness for themselves, ignoring the welfare of others, sometimes causing others harm. However, seeking happiness in the wrong way brings little joy and much suffering. The worst part is that such people are mostly unaware that they are doing wrong. Because of jealousy, because of stinginess, so they emphasize for the welfare of themselves. Because of jealousy and stinginess, they cannot differentiate between what is wholesome and what is unwholesome. So let me ask you a few more practical questions. In the morning, when you read the newspaper, what does morning news teach you? In the evening, when you sit down to watch television, what does the television teach you? This is not personal. The media teaches us how to fuel our greed. So the media teaches us how to fuel our greed, and it also promotes and glorifies violence. In the pursuit of sensual gratification, violence often takes place. The content of newspapers and TV is filled with teachings that generally increase our greed, our anger, delusion. Under their powerful influence, many people are led astray and onto the wrong path. But does the fault really lie with what the mass media feeds us? The media just provides people with what they want and think is good. We people like to watch TV, we people like to read newspapers and other media. But what is good or not good does not always depend on what we think. It is good or it is not good. Sorry? But what is good or not good does not always depend on what we think. What I mean is, what is good or not good does not always depend on what we like or dislike. So we like watching TV. Not only we like watching TV, we like actors, actresses, sometimes want to be actors, actress. So Buddha pointed out this in many sutras, pointing out the truth. Because people like watching movies, watching TV, that they may think it is good to do. But listen to Buddha now. I will quote words of the Buddha. Once a famous stage manager, an actor named Taraputa, went to see the Buddha. He told the Buddha his teacher said, because actors make people laugh with false stories, he would after death be reborn in the company of laughing devas. He asked the Buddha for his opinion on this matter. The Buddha told him not to ask that question. However, the stage manager insisted and asked the same question 3 times. Then the Buddha told him that if that time arrived, he would be reborn in the laughing hell. Who will be reborn in the laughing hell? Actors, actresses who make people laugh, because they play not the truth, they play the false stories. So they make people more greedy, they make people angry, they delude people, those who are watching. They promote the greed, anger, delusion, pride, jealousy of the people, those who are watching. The worst thing is you may knew it. In many countries, because of these media, many young people, they imitate the wrong things, violent things to do. You know now in Myanmar television, every day, there is one program. But they told me only, I don't know really, critically. Every day there is Korean thing. In our country, people like listening Dharma talk. Mostly from night 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m. to 9 or 9:30 in this day. This is the usual time. Now Korean thing, TV thing, make people can't listen the Dharma talk at 7:30. Because 7:30 to 8 there is a Korean film show. So those who arrange the Dharma talk, they have to move to the 8 o'clock. They also want to listen, but they also can't give up Korean film too. Another thing, now if you go to Myanmar, you will see many people with red hair. Not only young, but also middle age, old age too. Because of looking the Korean film, they want to dye red hair. So now you see how they leave the people's mind. So they become more greedy, they become sometimes angry. Because of this reason, the actor, when this karma ripen, they will be reborn in the laughing pair. Now you see, what we understand, something what we like is good. Compared to the teaching of the Buddha, we see there are many dangers. That's why I have told what is good and not good does not always depend on what we like and dislike. So one of the benefits that Buddhism provides for humanity is the knowledge of what is wholesome and what is unwholesome. Knowing what is wholesome and what is unwholesome is right view. So this kind of right view is a very important factor for our individual welfare as well as for that of others. It is only with right view that we can know how to walk on the right path. So after listening to the Buddha, the stage manager cried, because before his teacher said, if they die, they will be reborn in a laughing deva. The Buddha said, you promote greed and you glorify violence. That if that karma ripens, you will be reborn in a laughing hell. Stage manager Taraputa cried and gave up his acting career and became a bhikkhu. Practiced meditation. Before long, diligently practiced that before long he attained arahantship. So here you all need to consider what you all are doing in your daily life. Do only two things, whether right or whether wrong. We do only two things, whether wholesome or whether unwholesome. There is no between, which is not wholesome, which is not unwholesome. So you all know what you are doing. Even the way we live are different, but the way we spend our lifetime, it is by doing wholesome and unwholesome. So we are following two ways. It is stopping and struggling. So without having right view, and because of ignorance too, we chase after sensual pleasure, craving name and fame, drinking and gambling. This is dangerous. Such unrestrained self-indulgence leads to suffering. So on the other hand, a person with right view engages in wholesome deeds, such as offering, dana, practicing morality, cultivating loving kindness and compassion. So now you all are those who are doing, offering dana, practicing morality, and practicing meditation that it will lead to happiness. So in the Dhammapada, verses 316 and 317, the Buddha says, so what the Buddha says, those who are ashamed of what is not shameful, and ashamed of what is shameful, such beings embracing wrong use go to the woeful state. Those who see fear in the non-fear sign and do not fear in the fear sign, such beings embracing wrong view go to the woeful state. These words of the Buddha are a reflection of our modern age. So for example, many people are ashamed of their poverty and many rich people are proud of their wealth. And attractive people are ashamed of their ugliness and beautiful people are proud of their beauty. But money and beauty, the yardsticks of what is shameful or what is not shameful, certainly they are not. In either case, if a person is virtuous, then there is nothing to be ashamed of. But if the person is immoral, then even if he is very rich and handsome, there is nothing to be proud of. Knowing this, you all should always examine whether what you are about to do is wholesome or unwholesome. I hope that this helps you to see how people really don't know the difference between what is wholesome and unwholesome. Generally, what they like, they think is right, wholesome. What they dislike, they think is wrong and wholesome. 2 months ago, or 3 months ago, in Pa-Auk meditation center, 2 German ladies came and practiced meditation. One day I asked, do you know what is wholesome and what is unwholesome? Because she told me she liked dancing, she liked playing music, and she liked gambling, she liked watching TV. So she thinks these all are what she likes, that this is good. So when I told her, no, dancing, this is unwholesome. How can dancing be unwholesome? Very good to do. Playing music, very, very nice. How can it be unwholesome? She told me. That's why what they like, they think is right. What they dislike, they think is wrong. That's why this is one example only. So how Western people think about good and bad. Okay? So they just think what they like is good and what they dislike is bad. Because of this reason, in my mind it appears, whether we are rich, whether we are poor, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is true Dharma. If there is no true Dharma, our life is useless. Where can we find true Dharma? It is only in the teaching of the Buddha. Now also, Korea, you can say this is developed country, rich country, but we are still poor. Right? And you must try to be rich in Dharma. Okay? This is the most important thing in our life. I came here to make you all to be a rich person. You want to be rich? What do you need to do? You have to study Dharma, to practice Dharma. Okay? Okay, so that's why people don't know what is wholesome, what is unwholesome really. But some, even they know, because of ignorance and craving, they can't avoid doing unwholesome too. So, right cannot be wrong and wrong cannot be right. So wholesome itself is wholesome, and wholesome itself is unwholesome. Personal preference can't change them. Now you all know what is wholesome, what is unwholesome. We were going back to the sutta again. The Buddha answered, by not stopping and by not struggling, I crossed the flood, difficult to cross. Buddha gave difficult answer because of this reason. The Deva could not understand that he made another question. How is it, sir, that by not stopping and by not struggling, we cross the flood difficult to cross? The Buddha answered this question by saying, when I came to a standstill, then I sank. But when I struggled, then I got swept away. It is in this way, friend, that by not stopping and by not struggling, I crossed the flood difficult to cross. So when I came to a standstill, then I sank, means if the Buddha performed an wholesome action, he fell into the four woeful flames. But when I struggled, then I got self-away, means if he performed wholesome actions, he was still reborn as a human, reborn as a Deva, reborn as a Brahma. That's why by not stopping, by not struggling, our bodhisattva crossed the flood difficult to cross. According to the Buddha, mind itself is pure in origin, but because of associated and also mental factors such as greed, hatred, illusion, pride, jealousy, stinginess, the mind becomes defiled. So because of unwholesome mental factors, the mind inclines towards doing unwholesome actions almost all the time. Among associated unwholesome mental factors, greed is one of them. Greed, it is, in other words, it is craving. Buddha said, craving leads the world. That's why we see people around the world marching in the streets, demanding that which they crave. Some are seeking better pay. Some are seeking out of revenge. Some cruel and unusual punishment. Some are seeking authorized killing of political change. Someone changes the educational system. So some are even demanding the right to choose or perform abortions. All of these demands are rooted in anger for sensual desire. It is obviously impossible to satisfy all these demands. So, it is obviously impossible to satisfy all these demands. But when people don't get what they want, they react with anger and become bitter. Hatred arises in their mind. Conversely, when they get what they want, they are happy and proud of themselves. If someone else is successful, however, jealousy often arises in them. But if they themselves are successful, what do? They tend to get big heated. Morning till night, people spend hour after hour engaging in bodily, verbal, and mental and wholesome actions. Morning till night, people spend hour after hour engaging in bodily, verbal, and mental and wholesome actions. No wonder why we all suffer so much. So between birth and death, we live mostly in the homes of greed, in the homes of hatred, in the homes of illusion, pride, jealousy, and stinginess. Do you agree? We live in the homes of greed. We live in the homes of hatred. We live in the homes of delusion, pride, jealousy, enviness. These are homes that are truly where we live and truly bad for us. Even though we live in the physical houses that we call home, for most of us, our real home is the abode of greed, hatred, delusion, pride, jealousy, and ignorance. Right? Even though we have lived in the physical houses, what we call home, for most of us, our real home is the home of greed, home of hatred, and so on. These primal defilements come along with us at birth, and they trouble us throughout our life. Most of us, unfortunately, are caught in their grip. They indeed become our real home. Which is your real home? The Buddha said, the Dhammavada commentary says, for the heedless, the four woeful states are like their permanent home. If we are heedless, the four woeful states are like our permanent home. After 10 days retreat, where will we go? Home. What is your home? Home of greed, home of hatred, home of delusion, home of pride, home of jealousy and envy. Going home means you live in a home of greed, hatred, and so on. Again. So going back home means to go back to the four states again. True? So that's why how frightened, how danger our lives are. As for me, I don't understand. You go back home, what you think your home. As for me, what I understand is you go back to your real home. Everybody, their mind is inclined to go back to their permanent home. Everybody, their mind inclined to go back to the permanent home. The Buddha says, we are born as a human. This is just a visit for a while. As a human, we live in our real home of greed, hatred, delusion, lust. This home, the living in this real home, makes we fall to the four states again. As we all know, we don't often stay long where we are only visitors. When you visit somewhere, can you stay longer then? So it is natural for us to return to our home. So in the same way, the human and deva realms are places where we temporarily visit, and only when, in the same way, the human and deva realms are places we temporarily visit only when the time is right. Sooner or later, along with our defilements, we have to return to our real home somewhere in the fourfold planes again. The chance of being born in a happy realm or miserable one is clearly declared by the Lord Buddha. So the Buddha says, on one occasion, the blessed one took up a little bit of soil on the tip of his fingernail and dressed to the bakery. What do you think, bakery? Which is more? The little bit of soil on the tip of my fingernail or the great earth? And we will say, the great earth is more. The little bit of soil that the blessed one has taken up on the tip of his fingernail is trifling. Compared to the great earth, the little bit of soil that the blessed one has taken up on the tip of his fingernail does not bear comparison, does not amount even to a fraction. Now in Bodhisattva Center, those who are practicing meditation, compared to the great earth, The Buddha took out a little bit of sign on his fingernail. How small, how little, compared to the great art. People, those who are chasing after sensuality in the Korea, and those who are practicing in Boinsa, compared to these two things, which is more? Better don't say about Korea. So before reaching Boinsa, there is a city. Those who are living in this city, chasing after the sensuality, and those who are practicing in Boinsa, which is more? So it does not bear comparison, does not amount even to a friction. In the same way, in our Pa-Auk meditation center, the whole year, many people are practicing, but how many people practicing? 600, 700, the whole year. Compared to those who living near that Pa-Auk meditation center, it doesn't bear comparison. In the whole world, those who are doing wholesome deeds every day, compared with those who are chasing after sensuality, doing a wholesome deeds, which is more. Example given by the Buddha is practical, very logical, and very reasonable. So Buddha answered, so too they too. Those beings are few, who, when they pass away as human beings, are reborn among human beings. But those beings are more numerous, who, when they pass away as human beings, are reborn in heaven. Why? Buddha said, it is because they haven't seen the Four Noble Truths. What for? The suffering, the origin of suffering, the cessation of suffering, the way leading to the cessation of suffering. If we haven't seen the Four Noble Truths, when we pass away, our future existence will be uncertain. We may fall to the four-woeful state, which is our permanent home within. Because of this reason, in one of the suttas, it is in the Samyutta Nikaya, the Buddha suggests, if the fire is burning on your head, is it not important to, how do you say, to make it to extinguish? So Buddha said, yes, it is important to extinguish. But more importantly, to know Four Noble Truths. So don't distinguish this. Try to penetrate Four Noble Truths. Okay? It is important to extinguish. But if you are trying to extinguish this, you have no time. See, that's why better ignore. Please try to practice the Dharma. And this is the example. Now you all are in a hurry to go back. See? To go back to your real home, permanent home. You are not in a hurry to penetrate Four Noble Truths. You really know to do for the benefit of you. You are the one who are really doing for the benefit of you. Okay? So to be able to hear the teaching of the Buddha is very, very rare opportunity. It is very difficult to get the opportunity to hear the Dharma. More difficult is to practice the Dharma. Even among people, those who practice, difficult is to penetrate the Dharma too. Depends on our past and present, parami and effort. So, because of not knowing and seeing the Four Noble Truths, when we die, means those who were born as the humans are very few and who fall to the four states are many. So I have explained what the Four Noble Truths are. To know Four Noble Truths, we need to develop concentration. If you stay thinking one day, I want to know and see Four Noble Truths, but I don't want to develop concentration, can you penetrate the Four Noble Truths? That's why please consider and please diligently practice to develop concentration, to know and see Four Noble Truths, to make free from the flood of wrong view. Only then we can free from suffering in four states. So Four Noble Truths. The first Noble Truth is ultimate mentality and materiality. Knowing the ultimate materiality means knowing 28 types of materiality. Knowing mentality means knowing consciousness and associated consciousness, associated mental factors. So consciousness in Pali we call citta. Associated mental factors in Pali we Buddha say cetasika. Associated mental factors in Pali Buddha call cetasika. So to know and see mentality means to know and see citta and cetasika. So mentality arises in a form of cognitive process, mental process. I will give an example. You see how many fingers? 10. So mentality arises 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For example, altogether 17 mind movements. One after another, they arise and perish very, very quickly. It is called one mind movement, it is called another mind movement, this is called another mind movement. So they arise in this way, very quickly, one after another. Okay? At least in each mind movement, there are 8 mental factors, sometimes 34 mental factors. To make you understand, someone who can attain first jhana absorption, first jhana mental factors, if we count, there are 34 mental factors. This is the teaching of the Buddha. Only when you know this ultimate mentality and materiality, you know the suffering, the first noble truth. Second noble truth, the origin of suffering. To know the second noble truth, you must pay attention to your past life. Only when you know and see the first noble truth and second noble truth, you are ready to practice vipassana meditation. Because of this reason, Buddha said, Bhikkhus, I don't say that final knowledge is achieved all at once. On the contrary, final knowledge is achieved by gradual training, by gradual practice, by gradual progress. Nowadays, one thing you need to know one thing which is very important. This is the words of the Buddha. It appears in the Digha Nikaya, in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta. Very important thing all of you to know what the Buddha said, to be able to reflect the teaching, what we learn from others. Repeat again. Very important thing to know, it is the principle for the Buddha's true teaching. Principle for the Buddha's true teaching. Suppose Buddha said in that Sutta, Mahaparinibbana Sutta. Suppose a monk were to say, "Friends, I heard and received this from the Lord's own lips. This is the Dharma, this is the discipline, and this is the Master's teaching." Suppose a monk were to say, "Friends, I heard and received this teaching from the Buddha's own lips. This is the Dharma," he said. That Bhikkhu said, "This is the Dharma, this is the discipline, this is the Buddha's teaching." So if one Bhikkhu says, "This is the Dharma, this is the discipline, this is the Buddha's teaching," I heard from the Buddha's own lips. Bhikkhus, his words and expressions should be carefully noted and compared with the suttas and reviewed in the light of the discipline. So by comparison and reviewing, we found his words is not conform to the suttas and the discipline of the Buddha's teaching. The conclusion must be, surely this is not the word of the Buddha. It has been wrongly understood by that monk. The matter is to be rejected. Okay? So, by comparison and reviewing, if we found it is in accordance and conform to the sutta and discipline, the conclusion must be, surely this is the word of the Buddha. It has been rightly understood by that monk. Okay? This is the suggestion of the Buddha, the principle for the Buddha's true teaching. So just by hearing something, please don't be hurried to follow. You must compare and review, checking in the teaching of the Buddha, whether it is conform to the teaching of the Buddha or not. What I have explained, all of you, check in the teaching of the Buddha. If it is not conformity to the teaching of the Buddha, please reject it. Because to be able to penetrate Four Noble Truths is very, very important, that you need to follow the teaching of the Buddha. Only then you will know Four Noble Truths. So now we all understand a little bit of sway on the tip of fingernails of the Buddha compared to the great earth. Great earth is much, much more. That's why those beings are few who, when they pass away as human beings, are reborn among human beings or the devas. But those beings are more numerous who, when they pass away as human beings, are reborn in hell, in the animal realm, in the sphere of codes. So too, Bhikkhus, those beings are few who, when they pass away from hell, are reborn among human beings or the devas. But those beings are more numerous who, when they pass away from hell, are reborn in hell, in the animal realm, in the sphere of ghosts. So too, Bhikkhus, those beings are few who, when they pass away from the animal realm, are reborn among human beings or the devas. But those beings are more numerous who, when they pass away from the animal realm, are reborn in hell, in the animal realm, in the sphere of ghosts. Why? Because of not knowing Four Noble Truths. According to the Buddha, those beings are few who abstain from wine, liquors, and intoxicants that are basis for negligence. But those beings are more numerous who do not abstain from wine, liquors, and intoxicants that are basis for negligence. And Buddha continues, so to bhikkhus, those beings are few who honor their mother and father, but those beings are more numerous who do not honor them. In the same way, those beings are few who respect their elders in the family. More are those who don't respect their elders in the family. Those beings are few who abstain from the destruction of life, but more numerous are those who don't abstain from it. So in the same way, for stealing, sexual misconduct, telling lies, so more are those who commit these unwholesome actions. Because of this reason, very few people are performing wholesome actions. Great masses of humanity are engaging in unwholesome actions. So as the Buddha pointed out, the performing of wholesome actions are like a little bit of the soil on the tip of his fingernail. But those who are engaging in unwholesome actions are like a great earth. Because of this reason, few can be reborn among human beings on this earth. Most people in this great earth will be reborn in hell, in the animal realm, or in the sphere of ghosts. Why? The doors to these miserable states are opened by unwholesome deeds which we do in this very life. What happens if we fall to the fourfold thing? This is explained in the sutta named Yoke with the Whole. It is from Havaka Samyutta. So there the Buddha said, Bhikkhu, suppose a man would throw a yoke with a single hole into the great ocean. So in the great ocean there is a blind turtle which comes to the surface once every 100 years. What do you think, Bhikkhu? Would that blind turtle come into the surface once every 100 years, insert its neck into that yoke with a single hole? The bhikkhu answered, if it would ever do so in reversa, it would be only after a very, very long time. Then the Buddha said, bhikkhu, sooner, I say, would that blind turtle coming to the surface once every 100 years, insert its neck into that yoke with a single hole, then the fool who has gone once to the nether world would regain a human state. It is more easier. The head of the turtle to insert into the hole of the yoke. It's very difficult to come up to the human realm again when we fall to the fourfold state. Do you want to go home? I don't go back my home. Okay? You must not go back your home. Because, let me finish today. I want to make finish today. Okay? Very soon I will finish. So, because in the nether world, there is no conduct guided by the Dharma, no righteous conduct, no wholesome activity, and no meritorious activity. This morning, you know, near my room, in front of my room, there is a big tree. There is a nest of a bird. 2 birds are staying there. See? Today, electric, they come and repair the electricity. At that time, we look happily, oh good. But 2 birds are very angry. They think, now they are destroying my nest. So they are crying. In this way they are. So our understanding and the understanding completely different. So we know to listen the Dharma, we know to practice the Dharma, we know to do offering, we know to practice morality. But do they know? That's why in the animal world there is no conduct guided by the Dharma, no righteous conduct, no meritorious activity there. The more powerful ones are eating the weaker ones. In our Pa-Auk monastery there are many frogs. Frogs eat small insects. Snakes swallow them. Okay? So now you see, the more powerful ones, the bigger ones are eating the smaller ones. They are killing and eating each other. There is no righteous conduct there. That's why if we fall to the fourfold planes, it is so difficult to be reborn among human beings or the devas. It doesn't matter how rich or poor we are, how beautiful or ugly we are, or how high or low our living standards are. To avoid rebirth in hell, in the animal realm, in the spheres of good, we need to do wholesome deeds. Even though it is better to be reborn among humans or the devil than in the nether world, even though it is better to be reborn among humans or the devils than in the nether world. With existence, there is always birth, aging, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, displeasure, and despair. So falling into the fourfold stage is clear. This is really suffering. More suffering is not knowing how to do wholesome deeds in the fourfold stage. So being reborn as a human is like a person who is swimming across a river. We are swept away by the flow of water. So when you are swimming across the river, you have to struggle. If you don't struggle, what happens? You will sink. Okay? So struggling is doing wholesome deeds. However we struggle, however we swim in the river, one day we feel exhausted, that we can't do any effort, and we stop struggling, and then we will sink again. Sure, you can't all the time struggle in the river. So being reborn as a human or being reborn as devas, you will fall again. You will sink again. Is it good? If we are swimming across the river, we have to struggle. See? Sure, at a certain extent, you feel exhausted, and then you will sink again. That's why being reborn as a human, being reborn as a deva, like someone who is swimming across the river. One day when we feel exhausted, we will fall again. Is it good to have new existences? No existence is good. Okay, the Buddha said, it is by not stopping, by not struggling, I cross the flood difficult to cross. So by not stopping, by not struggling, what does it mean? It is by practicing eightfold noble path, I cross the flood difficult to cross. So having heard this, the deva became the Sotapanna. Is there anybody who became Sotapanna now? Okay? So you need to understand the difference, the disparity of our bharati. So because he enlightened, became a Sotapanna, that so great was his respect for the Buddha that the deva who had seen the true Dharma recited this stanza. So what is that stanza? After a long time, at last I see a Brahmin, a Buddha, who is fully quenched, who by not stopping and not struggling has crossed over attachment to the world. Now we all know what we are doing. We are doing only two things, wholesome and wholesome. We are doing or sinking and drifting away. So if we don't want to sink and if we don't want to drift away, we need to follow the Eightfold Noble Path. We have to diligently practice to cross the flood, difficult to cross. Our bodhisattvas and many people of this day, and even some today, have crossed the flood by not stopping and by not struggling. They have followed the middle way. They have realized nirvana, the deathless. May you all be able to follow that way. May you all be able to cross the flood that is difficult to cross. May you all be able to attain final nirvana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
He has understood, as you said, you have to do wholesome deeds all the time, and that will eventually lead you to thinking right before your death, so that you can become human or deva. But you also heard that strong wish and your karmas can lead you to get a human body. So only just saying some mantra.
Just important time is at the near death moment. At the near death moment, if wholesome karma appear, you will be reborn as a human or deva again. The main thing is this.
Main thing is that. Is it possible to get the wholesome image right before your death without conducting good deeds throughout your life? The strong wish right before the death.
Yes. Because there are what types of karma it can give results. So in Pali, Buddha said, Ajena karma. It is habitual action. Habitual karma. There may be someone who all the time, every day, do a habitual karma. So it is very strong. Another one is asana karma. It is near death karma. The karma that we do before we die. Another one is garuka karma, which is very heavy karma. This is the strongest one. Killing mother, killing father, killing arahant, kissing sangha, and then drew the blood of Buddha. The last one is katata karma. Katata karma means specific karma. If there is heavy karma, sure he will fall to the hell after death. If there is no heavy karma, habitual karma is gives itself. If the habitual karma doesn't appear at the near death moment, maybe near death karma will give itself. If the karma that I have told cannot give itself, sometimes in our life, without being determined, we do sometimes some action. So that karma is called specific karma. That karma also can give itself. So habitual karma should be cultivated every day. Don't forget.
What is the definition of death? One of my friends, he is he lost consciousness for about 3 years. He's still alive. What is the definition of death?
So this is not real death. This is just unconscious. So not another thing is the time is not yet ripened yet. So that means that consciousness, it is the last mind moment of one's life. After a person passed away, no can be reborn in someone. No can be. This is the teaching of the Buddha.
I lost the last phrase. Just the last phrase.
Last phrase.
Yeah. Could you repeat the last phrase?
Yeah. So after someone dies,
Yes.
so that means that consciousness arises. Okay? That consciousness arises. This is the last mind moment. After that, no gap between. If we must be reborn in the human realm, so we will start, our life starts in the mother womb, without any gap. Okay? We should stop here. That's all for today. Sadhu, sadhu.